Thanks, Janice. Dana. You got it, Anthony. The march is coming to an end now. It's supposed to end at 3-ish. Hair school. Thanks, Lisa. I think they'll be marching all day and all night. Protesting. Other types of protesting, maybe. Sign waving. Thinking it's gonna be an all-day thing.
No shenanigans.
Thanks for tuning in, folks. So I think after I'm done here, I'll take a little nap since I didn't really sleep last night. Get some food, take a shower, TMI maybe, but that's what's happening. And then I'll be out here later for, I think there are a couple of events, and I'm sure that there will just be a lot of people out here protesting tonight. So I'll stick around for a little bit longer. Marching to the MLK Memorial, but I'm not sure where that's at. Let me take a look. Thanks, Joshua. Hopefully my service will be a little bit better tonight. I heard that the police got beat up last night from a friend who was there. He said that there was like a lady cop that was, or there was a cop that was arguing with the protester, and then she like pushed the girl, and then the girl kind of pushed back, and then there was some punching involved, and then the woman was arrested, and then somebody just grabbed her arm and she was de-arrested. So I think there were a few de-arrests last night. Remember roaming charges? Oh yeah. Trying to get some photos. Department of Commerce. There. Smithsonian is fun. Hellacious dose of mace. Somebody said that the cops used ketamine on the protesters out here. Oh, Teresa, yeah, I saw that Haram had his phone stolen, and he said he didn't get punched, but he got pushed because they thought he was somebody else.
Make that right turn on the Constitution.
On Twitter, there was that footage of Ron Paul. And then at the end of my feed from last night, you got it, CT. At the end of my live from last night, I have the guy who was punched by Ron Paul all yelling and talking about it a little bit more. Ray, we're still marching.
Mike Brown! Mike Brown! Mike Brown!
Sandra Blair!
Sandra Blair! Sandra Blair! Trayvon Martin. Trayvon Martin. Trayvon Martin. Trayvon Martin. Breonna Taylor. Breonna Taylor. Breonna Taylor. Breonna Taylor. Don't shoot. Don't shoot. Don't shoot. No peace. Police. 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 Justice. Now. Justice. Now. Justice. Now. Don't shoot. Don't shoot. Don't shoot. Don't shoot. Don't shoot. Don't shoot.
There's the Capitol right there.
Mike Brown. Mike Brown. Mike Brown. Sandra Blair. Sandra Blair. Sandra Blair. Trayvon Martin. Trayvon Martin. Trayvon Martin. Trayvon Martin. Breonna Taylor. Breonna Taylor. Breonna Taylor. Breonna Taylor. Don't shoot. Don't shoot. Don't shoot. No peace. Police. 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 Justice. Now. Justice. Now. Justice. Now. Don't shoot. Don't shoot. Don't shoot. Don't shoot. Don't shoot. Don't shoot.
There's the Capitol right there.
Mike Brown. Mike Brown. Mike Brown. Sandra Blair. Sandra Blair. Sandra Blair. Trayvon Martin. Trayvon Martin. Trayvon Martin. Trayvon Martin. Breonna Taylor. Breonna Taylor. Breonna Taylor. Breonna Taylor. Don't shoot. No peace. Police. 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 Justice. Now. Justice. Now. Justice. Now. Don't shoot. Don't shoot. Don't shoot. Don't shoot. Don't shoot. Don't shoot.
There's the Capitol right there.
Mike Brown. Mike Brown. Mike Brown. Sandra Blair. Sandra Blair. Sandra Blair. Trayvon Martin. Trayvon Martin. Trayvon Martin. Trayvon Martin. Breonna Taylor. Breonna Taylor. Breonna Taylor. Breonna Taylor. Don't shoot. Don't shoot. Don't shoot. No peace. Police. 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 Justice. Now. Justice. Now. Justice. Now. Don't shoot. Don't shoot. Don't shoot. Don't shoot. Don't shoot. Don't shoot.
There's the Capitol right there.
Mike Brown. Mike Brown. Mike Brown. Sandra Blair. Sandra Blair. Sandra Blair. Trayvon Martin. Trayvon Martin. Trayvon Martin. Trayvon Martin. Breonna Taylor. Breonna Taylor. Breonna Taylor. Breonna Taylor. Don't shoot. Don't shoot. Don't shoot. No peace. Police. No peace. Police. No peace. Police. No peace. peace. Police. No peace. Police. Justice. Now. Justice. Now. Justice. Now. Don't shoot. Don't shoot. Don't shoot. Don't shoot. Don't shoot. Don't shoot.
There's the Capitol right there.
Mike Brown. Mike Brown. Mike Brown. Sandra Blair. Sandra Blair. Sandra Blair. Trayvon Martin. Trayvon Martin. Trayvon Martin. Trayvon Martin. Breonna Taylor. Breonna Taylor. Breonna Taylor. Breonna Taylor. Don't shoot. Don't shoot. Don't shoot. No peace. Police. 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 Justice. Now. Justice. Now. Justice. Now. Don't shoot. Don't shoot. Don't shoot. Don't shoot. Don't shoot. Don't shoot.
There's the Capitol right there.
Mike Brown. Mike Brown. Mike Brown. Sandra Blair. Sandra Blair. Sandra Blair. Trayvon Martin. Trayvon Martin. Trayvon Martin. Trayvon Martin. Breonna Taylor. Breonna Taylor. Breonna Taylor. Breonna Taylor. Don't shoot. Don't shoot. Don't shoot. No peace. Police. 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 Justice. Now. Sandra Bland! Sandra Bland! Sandra Bland! Trayvon Martin! Trayvon Martin! Trayvon Martin! Trayvon Martin! Breonna Taylor! Breonna Taylor! Breonna Taylor! Breonna Taylor! Don't shoot! Don't shoot! Don't shoot! No peace! Police! 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 Justice! Now! Justice! Now! Justice! Now! Don't shoot! Don't shoot! Don't shoot! Don't shoot! Don't shoot! Don't shoot!
There's the Capitol right there.
Mike Brown! Mike Brown! Mike Brown! Sandra Bland! Sandra Bland! Sandra Bland! Trayvon Martin! Trayvon Martin! Trayvon Martin! Trayvon Martin! Breonna Taylor! Breonna Taylor! Breonna Taylor! Breonna Taylor! Don't shoot! Don't shoot! Don't shoot! No peace! Police! 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 Justice! Now! Justice! Now! Justice! Now! Don't shoot! Don't shoot! Don't shoot! Don't shoot! Don't shoot! Don't shoot!
There's the Capitol right there.
Mike Brown! Mike Brown! Mike Brown! Sandra Bland! Sandra Bland! Sandra Bland! Trayvon Martin! Trayvon Martin! Trayvon Martin! Trayvon Martin! Breonna Taylor! Breonna Taylor. Breonna Taylor. Breonna Taylor. Don't shoot. Don't shoot. Don't shoot. No peace. Police. 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 Justice. Now. Justice. Now. Justice. Now. Don't shoot. Don't shoot. Don't shoot. Don't shoot. Don't shoot. Don't shoot.
There's the Capitol right there.
Mike Brown. Mike Brown. Mike Brown. Sandra Bland. Sandra Bland. Sandra Bland. Trayvon Martin. Trayvon Martin. Trayvon Martin. Trayvon Martin. Breonna Taylor. Breonna Taylor. Breonna Taylor. Breonna Taylor. Don't shoot. Don't shoot. Don't shoot. No peace. Police. 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 Justice. Now. Justice. Now. Justice. Now. Don't shoot. Don't shoot. Don't shoot. Don't shoot. Don't shoot. Don't shoot.
There's the Capitol right there.
People suffer. We're going to hold court today. We're going to hold court on systematic racism. We're going to have court right now. Guilty. 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 Racism against all of us. Guilty. Guilty! Racist Trayvon Martin. We find him guilty! Racism against George Floyd. We find him guilty! Racism against Jacob Blake. Abdul Kawala. If I take the name wrong, Allah forgive me. Guilty! And we're not taking it
Thank you for
anymore.
sharing.
I ask everyone to stand up. No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! I met this man when I was 7 years old. How did I know I was going to meet this man again in these circumstances? I truly did not want to come and see y'all today for these reasons. My father was in town for the first march on D.C. I have a duty. I have a duty to support and understand each one. I love everybody in this crowd. I love. If nobody calls you today, Big J calls you. But we're going to stand up, baby. We're going to stand up together. I need your strength. Big Daddy's legs ain't that good anymore. I need your no justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! I love y'all.
You got it. Is the picture kind of clear?
I want to bring Attorney Yagi Lamont, who represents these families. Then I want Attorney Stewart to come, who represents others. There are many families here, and I've been hear from a few more before we march to the King Memorial. Good afternoon, D.C. I'm Attorney Ivory Lamar. I represent the Joel Acevedo family who was killed in the city of Milwaukee by an off-duty officer before George Floyd and was strangled for 10 minutes. I also represent the family of Jacob Blake, who was unfortunately just killed seven times, but he lived today. At this time, I want to just thank Reverend Al Sharpton and the National Action for having this event here today, because action is what we hear. I'm going to tell you right now, we tired of talking. We tired of playing games. 2020 is the year that America will be put on timeout. We think the Milwaukee Bucks and all the NBA teams will sacrifice their game for this special cause. We think the Major League Baseball, we think all the actors, entertainers, celebrities across this country who utilize their platform for justice. Today, I just want to let you know, this is the last season of the police version of High.
Afraid. He said, but we're the ones that get killed. So how are y'all afraid?
Find an object or an action and say that you in fear so you can justify killing a black or brown person. Step 2, assassinate that black or brown person. And then step 3, you assassinate his character. Then after you get to step, you delay your investigation. You exaggerate it. You got the video that takes 20 seconds to watch, but you take 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months to say you're still investigating. And then when you call an uproar around our community, then you attack our protesters that are gathering peacefully. Any extreme, and use tear gas against them. I want to let you know, we're here today because the game is over. This time, we know your plays, and it's over. It is training day for police officers and law enforcement agencies across the country. It is training day. If you don't train your officers on the standard operating procedures, racial bias training, the race civil rights in this country will hold you. I'm going to let you right now.
Or like this. Is it better now? For sound? Or was it better before?
I want to thank you right now all across this country for standing up for justice, standing up for this very important cause. The time is now. Change. And we're not going to stop until we get it. And we're
Run it down. Run it down.
Thank you for sharing. Is the sound better now, guys?
Bring up the family of Joel Acevedo, another case in the state.
I just unplugged my mic.
For an officer,
One sec.
the innocent man for 10 minutes. Let us free. We need to be free. We are free people. Let everyone know. Government knows now that we have rights. And if there's not going to be no justice, there's never going to be no peace.
Hi, Shannon.
The Lord says this is what God wants our brothers and sisters to stand in one in unity.
I'm ready to move on. They didn't attack anyone. They're terrified anyone to raise their voices. Are you almost ready to head out?
Oh, yeah, we can head out.
We really get serious about actually signing people up to vote, not just us voting. Voting is a form of protesting, yes? Voting is a form of protesting, yes? So how can we all participate in this democracy? We must not only go to the poll or fill out our absentee ballot, but can I get to actually register others, not to vote? If I get that commitment, put your fist in the air, please. Put your fist in the air if you are committed to signing others up to vote so that we can create the world that we want, yes? Because the time is now to bring the system down. I said the time is now to bring the system down. Conviction, yes. So do not leave here today. Do not leave here today without connecting with another city, because we are all connected. Because how many of you felt activated this summer? You didn't sign up for activism, but you were activated this summer. How many of you were activated? Yeah. I mean, we all know that the movement has been going on for a long time, right? But there was something that broke in us this summer. And so the healing of that brokenness is being out into the streets. The healing of that brokenness is doing something about it and not staying silent. So what we must do is continue to move forward by voting, by protesting, by holding them to their feet, holding the fire to their feet. Yes? Yes and yes. So now, what I want to see is I want to teach you all this one right quick. I want you to repeat after me. When I say black lives, you say nine. Black lives, black children, black women, black lives, black lives. So the time is now to bring the system down. I said the time is now to bring the system down. So we are here. This is a protest convention. They had a Democratic convention, they had a Republican convention, and now this is the protest convention. Yes. So do not leave here today. Do not leave here today without connecting with another city, because we are all connected. Because how many of you felt activated this summer? You didn't sign up for activism, but you were activated this summer. How many of you were activated? Yeah. I mean, we all know that the movement has been going on for a long time, right? But there was something that broke in us this summer. And so the healing of that brokenness is being out into the streets. The healing of that brokenness is doing something about it and not staying silent. So what we must do is continue to move forward by voting, by protesting, by holding them to their feet, holding the fire to their feet. Yes? Yes and yes. So now, what I want to see is I want to teach you all this one right quick. I want you to repeat after me. When I say black lives, you say nine. Black lives, black children, black women, black lives, to bring the system down.
He told them that he had ADHD. He told them that he didn't know who they were, that they were too close to him, that they were shy. 10 months later, but in that moment, my mother had no idea what was going on. She lost track of them. She couldn't visualize what was happening. But what she said, she described the incident as just a series of dozens and dozens and dozens of firecrackers going off in the woods. Moments later, all of the police came back to their vehicles and she frantically asked them if her son was okay, but the only information that they gave her was that no police had been harmed. An ambulance showed up to the scene, disappeared, and she inferred the worst and followed that ambulance to the car, called the rest of the family. We were all sitting at home because it was Christmas Eve, so we hopped in our cars and went to the emergency room. When we arrived to the emergency room, my brother's trauma room had security officers and they weren't letting anyone in or anyone out. I'm actually a critical care nurse. I'm trained in responding to traumas, and immediately I knew that something was wrong. I demanded into the room, and I'll never forget the moment that I entered into the room. He was already practically dead. His blood pressure was not a sustainable blood pressure to support life. He had been shot multiple times. We didn't know it at the time, but we learned later that 5 officers had shot at him over 40 times. 1 officer had shot at him 28 times alone. This was the 3rd officer-related shooting that he had been involved in. And my brother, the shot that killed him was a shot directly to the back of the head. My brother never fired his gun, ever. As I was coming here to this march yesterday, my father actually called me up on the phone and told me that one of the officers that was involved in shooting my brother was just promoted to the Fairbanks chief of police. So this is how the community that we come from handles officer-related shootings. No one was accused. There was no punishment for any of these officers, and actually one of the officers was was promoted. Back to that moment. So my family, we go into the room. You know, we're all shocked. My mother actually fainted from shock, and as soon as my brother passed, the police came into the room and told us we all had to immediately leave because my brother's body was now going to be the state's property and evidence, and that we all needed to leave the room immediately. And I remember asking them if it was ethical that the same police department that shot and killed him was now in the room and going to be the department that was collecting evidence on him, and if that was ethical. And they wouldn't answer my question. They just told me that I needed to leave the room immediately. And my family, you know, we were all in a state of shock, but also we had no idea why they needed to use lethal force on my brother. And we kept asking them that question, and they wouldn't tell us why. We went home, and the next morning, Christmas morning, we read the newspaper, and we got more information from the newspaper than we did from the police officers the night before. And, you know, reflecting on this story, this is, unfortunately, it's not a unique story at all. Families that have lost a loved one to an officer-related shooting are united about stories about the police controlling the narrative, police not releasing evidence, police believing that they are above the law because of the protection of their police unions, families having difficulties finding lawyers to take their cases, and feeling powerless against the police. An article was published by CNN that says Native Americans are killed in police encounters at a higher rate than any other racial or ethnic group, according to data from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Most people are unaware police brutality is a severe problem for Native Americans. And part of the issue is that American Indian mortality rates are underreported, and reopening all cases is tremendously needed because we are a hidden minority that is often left out of conversations concerning solutions to police brutality.
Yes, reopen the cases! Reopen the cases! Reopen all the cases! Reopen the cases!
Our community has not received enough resources to manage the high rates of Native and Indigenous people murdered by police. Reopening the cases is the first step. Thank you, Mass Action Against Police Brutality, for providing a platform for me to speak. Till we win, and keep walking with Cody.
Yeah. Thank you. Let's give it on.
Native lives matter!
Native lives matter.
Native lives matter! Native lives matter!
Oh yeah, say his name. Hey, I just want to turn your attention to the folks who are wearing the red shirts. Just want to let you know that they're here. They're having a vigil because they're about to execute somebody. And that's why the protest from the Department of Justice. And
Indiana. Someone in Indiana.
Oh, in Indiana. In Tahoe, Indiana? Okay. And I guess they haven't had an execution in 20 years, but in this last year they have 5. So please show them some solidarity and hear what they got to say. We have a few more people we want you to hear from before we're done. Okay, they're having a little prayer over there to stop the executions. So I just want you to hear the story of this brother from Louisville. He's going to tell you something real quick.
Hey, how y'all doing? First, I want to tell everybody who's out here, especially people who's from out of town like myself, it's a beautiful gesture, and thank y'all for coming out because I know it costs money, and some of us didn't even have it, but we still made it out here, so I want to thank y'all. My name's Kendrick Wilson. I'm from Louisville, Kentucky. What I wanted to do is speak on what they got going on here because I love this slogan. It's every case matters.
Every case matters.
What I want to speak on is my case, man, because I have one of the biggest cases in the country that they're hiding from now. So I'm from Louisville, Kentucky. And for those of y'all that's not familiar with Louisville, Kentucky, of course it's the home of Ali. It's also the home of where Breonna Taylor was murdered. And what I'm trying to speak on is involving myself and my case is the police officer that killed Breonna Taylor. I've been fighting against this cop since 2016. I have a federal lawsuit pending against him that just went into action in October of 2019, which that is the date before he killed Breonna Taylor. And my case got delayed because of COVID-19. But this case, they are not trying to make this case national or public because my case single-handedly kills this cop's credibility. This guy, Brett Hankinson, and I'll get right to the nitty-gritty. I slept with this cop's girl and a couple other girls he was involved with. So he used his badge to come after me. And upon using his badge, all cops wear body cameras. His body camera caught him playing drugs on me, not once, but twice. And he got caught red-handed. We went to trial, a suppression hearing, and things like that. He got caught lying at the hearing. This is all video. These are not accusations. These are facts. And now my case is running on a delay right now because of COVID-19. But my case is important and it also matters because my case single-handedly and my mouthpiece single-handedly is going to destroy his credibility. And anytime you're trying to win a case, you must destroy your opponent's credibility. And what I've done is I've sacrificed my case personally because my original attorneys that I had told me don't speak, told me don't protest. You know why? Because they was interested in getting the gag order. The gag order is the money that you take, but when you take that money, you can't speak on nothing. You gotta be quiet. I said no, I got rid of that attorney. And I spoke in my city, Louisville, Kentucky. I told my story. The New York Times came to my house. They shot a documentary, which it was like 4 hours long. It's gonna be with the Breonna Taylor documentary. That's gonna air next month in September. Y'all will see me in that documentary. But I did all that against legal counsel. You know why? Because I'm not a sellout. It's not about the money. It's about telling the truth. And it's about destroying Brett Hankinson's credibility. This guy killed Breonna Taylor. And I warned my city. I warned Internal Affairs. I warned the Public Integrity Unit. Way before he did what he did to me, I went and reported these things to him. And he still did what he did to me. And all of this is documented. And they can try to hide it if they want to. But I'm here in D.C. I got on a plane from Louisville, Kentucky, came here on my own, spent my own money, got on a plane so I can share my story with people like you because everybody here, y'all care. That's why y'all here. And this is what it's gonna take. It's gonna take for y'all to spread the story, spread my story. And then before you know it, there's millions that know my story. And when that man walked into a courtroom, y'all already know, he's a liar. If you don't believe he's a liar, look what he did in this case. Look what he did on the stand. The guy is a liar. And now you know what? He's a murderer. And you know what the next step we need to make him? We need to make him a prisoner. So I'm here to tell my story, and I'm here to tell y'all, yes, every story matters. It's not just about people dying. It's not just about people dying because we're all living. And you never know when they're gonna run in your house and you're gonna survive. And you might survive and you might tell your story, but because you didn't die, Benjamin Crump isn't deciding to represent you. But you know what? We gotta represent everybody, the living and the dead. Because one thing about everybody that's died with this whole war, with racism and police brutality, all those people that died, you know where they at? They're in a better place. They no longer gotta deal with racism. They're in a better place. But we still gotta deal with it. So the people who are alive, your story matters. My story matters. Not only does your story, your protest matter. Your stands matter. And we all got to stand up. Yes, we are here for the people that was killed. But remember, there are people who are alive. I can testify. I can tell my story. When I walk in the courtroom, I'm going to destroy him. If y'all don't believe me, keep up with my case. If Brett Hankinson don't go to prison for what he did for Breonna Taylor, he's sure the hell going to go to prison for what he did to Kendrick Wilson. Because I got evidence. I got video evidence. I got all the body count footage. It's in my possession. Not only my attorney's possession, not only does my city know about it, but I'm going to make sure the world finds out about it. And he is going to go to jail for what he did to me if he don't go to prison for what he did to Breonna Taylor. Every story matters. Every case matters. Thank you, Joe.
Wait. When's the next court date? Do you know yet?
It's on delay.
All right, I want y'all to hear from Mother, one of the stalwart fighters in this fight for justice, Tony Taylor from St. Louis.
network is totally different from Black Lives Matter chapters. There's no Black Lives Matter chapter in St. Louis because we ran them out of Ferguson when Mike Brown died. And the reason that we did that is because they came in and tried to hijack our movement. And that's how they became a network off of the back of our hard work. Now, I lost Kerry, my firstborn son, in 2013, April 24, 2013. After surrendering to police, Kerry was then shot a total of 21 times, leaving 25 bullet wounds in his body because 4 of them was exit and entry rooms. Ever since 2013, I have been fighting for justice for my son and for everybody else. So when they speak about every case matters, I believe in that because I also believe in justice for all. What I like about mass action against police brutality is they take time out with the families, they address the concerns of the family, and they listen to what we want. Chapton don't do that. Justice for all came from me, but as a collective, reopen up the cases came from all of us just listening to us talk, because that's how the families feel. Jail killer cops is something all of us really want, because we have to strip them of their immunity. None of us have immunity on our jobs. I just can't go to work in the morning and decide I want to kill my coworker and don't be held accountable. So we're not going to stop until we get killer cops in jail. So we really do mean prosecute killer cops. This was my firstborn son, and he deserves to still be here. Last Tuesday, I just had to celebrate his birthday. Let me take that word back, because I didn't celebrate nothing, because it wasn't a happy occasion. I couldn't even use the word happy. But I'm going to tell you what I did do. I did a remembrance in his honor down at our St. Louis City Police Headquarters. They barricaded it off. I still went and decorated. I put every last one of his pictures all over those barricades. Because they gonna remember what they did to him. Say his name, Kerry Ball Jr. Say his name, Kerry Ball Jr. Thank you.
Yeah, now we have Hope Coleman from Boston, another important voice in this fight.
Hello, my name is Hope Coleman from Boston, Mass. My son was Chants Coleman. He was shot twice by 2 officers. My son had schizophrenic paranoia. My son, October 2016 in October 30th. My son was on the steps for 2.5 days. So I called the doctor, because I know my son, he was quiet. And all he did was sell DVDs and CDs and sit on the steps. Even the mailman, the barber shop, everyone knew my son. They were his supporters, they helped him. But at that night, when the police pulled up, I had called the doctor on call, the therapist at the South End Clinic in Boston. They said, call the ambulance. I called the ambulance, but the police came. I said, I didn't call for you all. They said, we'll give it a try. I said, no. The other one comes, gets out of the officer. He said, well, we got to protect the EMS. 5 or 7 minutes later, the ambulance came. He said, where is he at? I said, my son just went in the room. I'm on the first floor. You can walk right in. There's 3 steps. I go in the room, my son, you can see from the door down the hall, he's sitting on the floor with his head down. He's a 50-cent fan, he had a hoodie on. All he did, the EMS says, Terrence, can you go out in the hallway with me? My son quietly went out in the hallway. The other EMS is by a table by my door. I have a small glass table. I told the EMS where to take my son. Went out in the hallway, and then I shut my door. We both were in the hallway. I'm standing next to my son. The door is cracked. Me and my son's back is to the door, and they can lead outside. The two EMS, one of them said, Terrence, you're going to go to the hospital. My son said, I don't want to go. He said, you're going to go. My son said, I don't want to go. I said, Terrence, just go. Just to get checked, you have asthma. He said, I don't want to go. Well, my son made 2 statements to the EMS. He made the statements. The EMS was walking towards him, going to grab his bag of DVDs, vitamin water. Meanwhile, he said, you're going to go now. That's when the 2 officers burst in, knocked me down next to my son, while the other EMS grabbed the bag, and all I heard was 2 shots. We both were knocked down. My baby was next to me, and he was gone. I didn't hear him holler. I said, the detective come in the hallway. Get out, get out. I said, no, what part of body you shoot my son? They said, no, get out, get out. I said, no, what part of body you shoot my son? Because I didn't hear him. He kept getting in my face. I wind up 3 steps. Then I wind up in the street, banging on my truck, telling everyone what part of body you shoot my son. I have 5 grandbabies down below the basement. They heard the 2 shots. My grandson was about 12 years old. He covered the 5-year-old sister with a blanket and hid behind the couch. The other granddaughter come out, open the door, while I'm banging on my truck in the street. She opens up the door. My son's eyes were in the back of his head. She slammed the door and went back downstairs. One of my granddaughters, the other twin, come up. She saw him handcuff my son when he was already dead. And she ran him back downstairs. And I'm yelling over and over. What part of why you shoot my son? Meanwhile, I see the officers taking out 5 of my grandbabies. I'm like, where you taking my grandbabies? Give me my grandbabies. They said, no, tell the parents to pick them up at the headquarters. And I told them, no, give me my grandbabies. They pressured them at the headquarters. When they took my grandbabies out, they didn't know my husband was in the basement also. He was sickly. I had to bury him in 2017 on top of my son. My husband told me, these officers were laughing. They didn't know my husband was in the other room. They said, we finally got him out the way. We did a good job, but we ain't got to worry about him anymore. And that's a damn shame.
Damn shame.
I called him. I went to the hospital. I said, my son was shot. Where's my son? They said, come with me. I go in the room with 2 doctors. I'm sorry. Your son was shot in the groin and the abdomen. Automatically, the artery's there. He's gone. He was dead and already in the hallway. He didn't die on the way to the hospital. When my grandbabies opened that door, his eyes were in the back of his head. He was already gone. They need to respect mental health. They didn't have no right to use no damn bullets. Where's the body cameras? No body cameras? Then you got the commissioner getting on the damn news. Just an hour later, a couple hours later, when my niece turned the TV on. We was trying to get some reporters to come. turned on the TV. At that time, the commissioner said the mother's a liar. She wasn't there at all. That's a goddamn lie. His ass wasn't there. I called for help for my son. And they killed him instead of taking him to the hospital. It's time for a damn change to reopen the goddamn cases. Reopen the cases. Reopen the cases. And jail the damn killer cops. They have the audacity to promote him. For what? For killing my son. I feel like I should have never had called when I was doing what I'm supposed to do, call for help for my son. But I guess it didn't work. My son was a 50 Cent fan. All he could tell you about was 50 Cent. Download his music. Out for class last December. He has a suitcase full of DVDs and CDs. I was going through his CDs. I picked up this one particular CD. TJ Blaze. That was him. It said, "Hi, this is Thomas Coleman from Miss Boston South End. Here's 50 Cent's music." And all you hear was him saying hi. He was saying hi to all my families and friends. And all he would do was talk about 50 Cent's music. These cops need to go back and go to school, learn how to handle mental health and no damn bullets. They don't need to go back. It's time to put them cops behind bars. Lock their asses up. Because my son was special. All our kids were special. It's time for a damn change. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. Thank you. Prosecute the police now.
We believe in hope. We believe in hope. We believe in hope. That's what I'm saying, Boston, because, you know, the police are saying that hope wasn't there. Hope from the very beginning has never changed the story. She always said she was there. And either you believe in the police or you believe in hope. And for us, it's pretty simple. We believe in hope. So we want one family member to speak. Jenny Ruiz came from all the way from California. So let's give her a lot of love and hear her story. And then we're just going to have a couple more people speaking and we're going to wrap up.
My name is Jenny Reese, and I traveled out here from Porterville, California, in support of mass action and all the families impacted by police violence. My little brother, Charles Salinas, was a Marine Corps veteran. Hey! Really nice guy. He just had a little drinking problem. Yeah. He had PTSD, and he had clinical depression. Yeah. The police officers that killed my brother knew my brother. What? They had a lot of contact with him because they would pick him up, throw him in the drunk tank, sober him up, and kick him out the next day. They all knew him. The day that my brother was killed, he called the police because he was having a mental health crisis. Guys, I can't stress this enough. The cops have no business being around somebody who is in crisis. Someone in mental health crisis needs a crisis worker. Somebody who's trained. Long story short, Charlie called 911 on himself, stated he was suicidal. The cops responded, chased him down an alley a block away from where we grew up. I think my brother was just kind of doing a little trip down memory lane because he was really despondent. They corralled him. They had him in a little
like a walled-in little yard, and according to them, tried to talk him down. According to the people on the scene, they chased him. They were yelling at him from all directions because they surrounded him. They had him kind of like in a semicircle. And then just out of the blue, started shooting at him. One of the cops on the scene was a sheriff's department officer who responded in support of the call. He told us, and he told the jury in our civil trial, that he doesn't know why the other officers opened up, because Charlie was standing there attempting to comply. Mind you, my brother was drunk off his ass. He was .30, which is almost comatose. And he was trying to comply with their screaming orders. He says my brother was standing there, hands up, out in open, and the next thing that he knew, 4 officers opened fire. They basically shot my brother's face off. We couldn't have an open casket in the trial when they were testifying, and the cop giggled when he said it. He says, yeah, he goes, we kind of knew that, he was dead because his eye rolled out of his head. My sister's sitting there, I'm sitting there, my brothers are sitting there, family friends are sitting there, and this guy standing up there giggling about it. I can't even tell you. I mean, I know that some of you guys out here know how painful this is. How hard it is to talk about it. And what happened to us is 8.5 years ago. I can't even imagine somebody that it just happened to. You have to process this. You have to get past all of that grief, all of that anger. And then you have to make up your mind that you need to stand up and you need to speak out. You need to get out there and you need to make people open their eyes. Look what's happening in the last month. How many people have been killed? We've got people running around loose like in, where's that place at where that young kid killed those 2 people? Kenosha. Why didn't they shoot that guy? He's running down the street with a long rifle. Why? How come he wasn't shot? And then you get this other man that's just walking away, not even facing them. He gets shot 7 times in the back. Something's going on. So I'm out here in support. I'm out here to fight, not for just me, but for everybody. We need to change the laws. We need to change legislation. We need to change the language that's used in these investigations and stuff. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you guys for giving me an opportunity to tell you guys what happened to me. No justice, no peace.
Justice, no peace. Shall we prosecute the police?
Prosecute the police. Tony Solis, say his name.
Tony Solis.
Yeah, let's give it up for Jenny Reese, coming all the way from California. Fight for everyone, for her brother and everyone. And that's what this is. Justice for all. I just want to bring up one other group that helped us organize this, and that's Frederick United. They want to say a few words.
Alright, so we're Frederick United. We come from Frederick, Maryland. It's about an hour or so from here. It is nice to see all these beautiful people out here, but we really need your help where we're from too. In Frederick County, we have a racist sheriff. He is known to barack and just terrorize the Black and brown community where we're from. And we're having an event next weekend. That is September the 5th. We're going to upload it to our Facebook and our Instagram account because we're trying to be a little secretive. Because we also deal with other people that are not our friends either.
Louder.
You have Roger Kelly, who was part of the KKK that was out there. And while we were there, we had dog shit thrown at us. We were called niggers. We were called faggots. I was told that my life personally did not matter when I asked. We had 6 officers on the other side with the people who were doing that stuff. But while the side we're on, we had 2 scrawny-ass individuals officers that did nothing. Nothing was said, nothing was done. They were allowed to treat us like shit for 4 hours straight. Then we were escorted out with a Confederate flag with a trout on it. Do y'all know the lifespan of a trout? 14 years. Longer than the Confederacy, if y'all didn't know. So we would like you guys to come out and support us there. Again, the information for that is going to be on Frederick United's Instagram as well as Facebook. Something else I wanted to talk about is great us getting out here and organizing and doing stuff separately all over the place. But why the fuck was Al Sharpton able to come to the DMV and have an event here and all those people turn out? You got organizations right here busting their ass on a regular basis for our community. How can they come in? A man has done nothing for our community. Jesse Jackson's another one that has done nothing for our community. 27 years old, and I will never forget the look on my grandmother's face when you would see these people on TV talking truth, so they saw it, and not actually doing anything. A lot of the mothers that you guys did, unfortunately, did not get an opportunity to meet. Miss Gina Best, if you don't know anything about that woman, you need to start to figure her out. Her daughter's name was India Kager. Can you say her name? India Kager. Say her name. India Kager. India Kager served and fought for our country, and they killed her. They slaughtered her. It was like a trophy killing. When you go and you hunt somebody down, could you imagine? What do you think her last thoughts were? She was not expecting them. She had her infant child in the back seat with her. She was taking her child around, trying to introduce the baby to the other side of the family that he did not know. They pulled up behind her, I think it was at 7-Eleven, and threw just all this different stuff at her, shot her up so badly that when the baby went into had a foster care person or a representative come and take care of him, they were picking the pieces of flesh out of his hair. Damn. That has got to stop. And people like Al Sharpton who laugh in the faces of these moms because they're not public. They're not well known. They're not your Breonna Taylors or your George Floyd. Thank you. They're not your Emmett Till is another one. You still fighting for fucking Emmett Till. Does that not make anybody else mad but just me? Yes. Our backs built this land. This land is stolen from our Native American brothers and sisters. Yes. Seriously, treat our people like this. Right. We need to unite as a community. Do you realize how tight their ship is? They make sure they know the numbers. They know who's going to be there. We as organizations, as people coming to unite, need to be tighter than that. You need to communicate. Connect with people in your city. Connect with other organizations. That's how you get this shit done. Otherwise, we will continue to fight. Where I have children, they will continue to have to fight. And they should have to deal with this shit. So again, thank you. We're Frederick United, and thank you.
Right, Frederick!
Thank you, Frederick United. And, yo, we've been out here a long time, but how long are we going to keep protesting? Till we win. All right? You tired? I know we're sick and tired, but we ain't tired enough to give up. So we're going to keep fighting until we win, y'all. So we definitely want to give special thanks to all the families and victims of police brutality who came and spoke and who've been trying to raise our consciousness of what's going on. Salute all of you for supporting this action. And I hope that we can continue to build this movement. A big part of what needs to change is in every city, we have to get behind the families and the victims of police brutality. When this becomes, since everyone's talking about it, but in every community there's a victim somewhere. And in a lot of cases, they don't have any backing, and we need to support them because fighting for justice for them is how we fight for justice for all. It's how we uphold our rights, how we uphold our dignity and humanity. And it's not just about a few families, it's about all of us. It's about all of our rights are at stake here. So I salute all y'all for being a part of this, and I hope that we can build on this and we can keep this pressure on and turn it up till we win. So we're gonna wrap up this. But it's been amazing. Definitely want to thank Every Case Matters crew, Fredericksburg United, West Wednesdays, all the families. I want to give a shout out to the Cincinnati crew who came out and supported, and the Minnesota crew, Take a Knee Nation. We all got together July 11th and 12th. Some of us worked on this last month, and we were able to have a Mother's March in Minneapolis of over 100 families from across the country, and that's where we really made it clear to everyone that reopen the cases is a central demand for all these family members. So you can't really say justice for so-and-so unless you really mean justice equals prosecution of the police. It doesn't equal some symbolic law in somebody's name. We need real justice for the crime that was committed, not just lip service. And that's why reopening the cases is so important. If it was just one case, it may not be that big a deal, but when you consider this thousands of cases, thousands, you realize how important it is, and how each one of these thousands of police officers and their families and their communities and their backers have a stake in perpetuating the lie, and perpetuating the oppression. We need to isolate them, expose them, and win over all the rest of the world to our side, and just push them out the way and get on to the future that we all deserve. So we're gonna wrap it up. Thank y'all for support. It meant so much for these families. A lot of them don't get the attention that they deserve. But actually, a lot of families, even those that were on the stage, they all do support reopening cases, even if they weren't allowed to say it at the podium. But it's very much, you ask any family, most likely they never even got to try. But you know, they're all fighting for justice, and that's the center of this. And justice means prosecution of the police, conviction of the police, and in order to do that, we have to reopen all these cases. And remember, we're not just after the police, it's everyone who's part of this cover-up. So there's a lot of people that get out of it, get away with their participation in the crime. You know, the partners that help concoct the alibi. The medical examiner that, you know, messes with the examination. The prosecutors who don't want to indict. The judges who will mess up or dismiss any sentencing, even with the conviction. We've seen that. And of course, these politicians that cover it up. The case of Laquan McDonald in Chicago is one of the best examples, where the entire city council and the mayor were all involved in the cover-up, and it took actually a viral video from a FOIA request, a Freedom of Information request by a reporter, to expose this. You know, Laquan McDonald was unarmed and he got shot 16 times. But all of them should have been arrested, not just the police officer who did it. And that's what we're saying. This is the kind of fight we have to wage for justice. So thank y'all. I'm gonna wrap up and hope to see y'all in some other place in the streets soon.
Thank you, everybody, for coming out to support. I encourage anybody who's taking off to leave together in a group. Don't leave alone. Take care of each other.
All right, y'all, mass action. Till we win.
Excuse me, can you just say a few words for the indigenous community?
I couldn't tell, man. You gave me the DC government attitude, which we're used to. And you're supposed to be a black woman fight for us. And that's how you treat us. That's how you disrespect us.
Just the indigenous community and where we're fighting for the water of the Standing Rock Sioux tribe and fighting pipelines. So, sorry?
District government.
Yeah, so generally through a group called Indigenous Life Movement. Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Or say who you are as a black woman in the Senate. Anybody know her name?
Why they out here? Why they out here?
I don't know why. The bald-headed lady's member of Congress. See her walking array? Yeah, so they're here to protect her.
The one with the black?
Yeah. So you guys just came because she was walking past?
Sorry?
You guys were here because she was walking past?
No,
or?
we're here because there's about to be a motorcade.
Because it's supposed to be a...
Because there's about to be a motorcade.
Oh, okay. To here? Right, okay. Can you tell me why so many cars have showed up?
No, this is something totally separate.
Right. Is March coming through here or? Right. Okay. Right. Okay. It's a lot of them all of a sudden. Yeah, we were here for like an hour and a half, nobody, and then. Yeah. Thanks. Which direction was the movement coming from, you know? Officer, which direction was the movement coming from? What's going on?
Are you doing a YouTube video? Are you doing a YouTube video?
Yeah. So I'm just staying live because I think a movement might be happening in this particular direction because a lot of cops have started showing up all of a sudden. So. Do you happen to know if the march is coming through here, or?
No, they up the street here.
Oh, okay, up the street here? Because why are so many cops?
Straight up that street right there.
Right there? Okay.
Yeah, they probably coming that way.
Do it?
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll be better off going up the street here.
I'm just live streaming, so I can't check to see where they are.
No, it's blocked off up there too.
And just like all these cop cars started showing up here, and they said they're expecting a movement.
Oh, y'all, that's what they hear?
Yeah, but they didn't give me more detail than that. This guy following them.
of people. It's a good turnout.
Jacob Blake! Jacob Blake! Jacob Blake!
Thanks, Lisa. Trying to show you how far back it goes, guys, but it's hard to even tell. It's enough that it's drawn the attention of the choppers. So. Yeah, Brian, I missed a lot of it. As I said, I was dealing with some family stuff that just put me behind a bit, behind schedule. So I came to this end to meet them arriving here at the Rev Hall. I think, though, the people at the front don't realize that no one back here can hear what they're saying, and they're stopped right before going into the Rev Hall. And it's very hot just standing here. Looks like it's finally moving again. It's very hot, although thankfully there's a little bit of a breeze. It's not as hot as I hear it is in Washington right now. I hear it's like 100 degrees in the shade, so we're lucky, actually. not a lot of chanting happening right now. I can see the end of the march now. Good, so I'm gonna go back towards the start.
Guess that.
Like mac salad? That's a lot.
A lot of families, a lot of kids here today.
But I basically make it. I make it really stand.
We're at the Revolution Hall, so 13th and Stark. There you go. 13th and Stark, Southeast 13th and Stark, Revolution Hall. And as I was saying, as I was walking down that way to try and meet up with the march, this is a decent setup. I want to try and get through all these people to show you. Sorry. This is a pretty substantial stage setup and PA, whole sound system. Thank you. So, unfortunately, there's very little shade here. And we are reaching kind of the top high heat afternoon hour. I can see people are gonna try as much as they can to like hang out on the edges. I do worry that the heat will send people, make them decide to go home instead of stay for this, but I guess we'll see.
You know, people say it's terrible that white people get
People are slowly starting to filter onto the field. Somebody even out free pizza here. It's not the PDX resistance assistants. I'm not sure where they are today. Some cool shirts for sale. I need to make a quick little stop at my vehicle, so apologies for bringing you with me away from the people for a minute.
Hey,
hello, how are you doing?
I'm good.
I missed most of the march, had some family stuff dealing with, but I came and met you part way.
Right on.
Yeah, how have you been?
Doing good, yeah. Busy, hella busy. I'm speaking today.
Good. I was just saying to my viewers, this is a substantial. I'm a little worried that the heat is going to keep people from hanging out.
Yeah.
It's hard just standing in the heat.
Yes, indeed.
And there's very little shade, but I'm glad.
Check in, but
Okay, well, I look forward to hearing what you have to say.
Have a lovely day.
You too. Good job out there.
Thank you.
As always. Okay. So, again, just taking a brief moment. Forgot to take my lens cap off. Now I don't really have a proper pocket for it, so it's cramping my style. These people are smart. Lots of people on bicycles. I can hear, it sounds like somebody's about to start talking. Woo. It's a hard day to be wearing black. These guys always have ASL interpretation. It's cool. beautiful posters. Let's go have a look at those while we wait for the speakers. It says women are powerful and dangerous. Okay, I just got a message that my video is blocked because there was music playing in the background. Apparently, my video is now not discoverable because it may contain music that is copyrighted. It's ridiculous. It's not like I added the music is just playing. So, because of that, I may actually stop and restart because it means that only you guys who are watching already can see it. So I might do that. Although every time they play music, that's probably going to happen. I've seen that it's happened before where they've, after I post it, they tell me that part of my video is muted. But this is the first time I've seen them say that my video is like blocked. All right. So I'm gonna it's so bright.